Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report, AM Edition. I'm here with my co-host, Alex Parr. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everyone at home.
Thank you to KC Securities for sponsoring Special Report, the morning edition, and our also afternoon edition at 1 p.m. Today, Doug Ford will actually be on at 1 p.m. He'll be with the Deputy Premier as normal, Christine Elliott. But Stephen Lecce, the Minister of Education, will be there, and so will Jamal Javani, who is the Ontario's advocate for community opportunities. And that will be at 1 o'clock. We'll have that live for you here on TV and Soo Line website as well. Okay, today's going to be the big number show. There's a lot of big numbers flying around today. We got the Canadian deficit. That was a big one.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I mean, it was like double Jeff Bezos' wealth. So, yeah, big number. If you actually add up Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, and you took all their money away from them, still wouldn't pay for our deficit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah. That's how big it is.
That really puts it into perspective. Holy.
Yeah. And however, if you look at the U.S., I mean, the U.S. did a one-time $1,200 payment to their citizens, and it cost them $6 trillion. Our total debt right now is going to be kind of north of $1 trillion, around $1 trillion by the end of the year.
Yes.
Morneau is going to give another update or budget possibly in the fall, depending on what happens going forward. They're now focusing on recovery as opposed to sort of like the CERB benefit. They want to focus more on the wage subsidies to get people back to work.
Okay.
That's good as well. You know, employers get up to 75% of the wage subsidized. So that's going to help in getting our economy restarted. We also got some stuff from the Ontario government for restarting our economy. But the other big number, 12 million. A lot less than 343 billion. Still a big number though, and that is the global case count now for COVID-19. Over 25% of those cases though are to our southern neighbor in America, and they hit over 3 million cases yesterday.
Yeah, I believe it.
Which is a huge number.
I believe it took only 5 days for that to jump up another million, I believe, if I read that number right.
Yeah, oh yeah, it took Florida 2 months to get 100,000, and it took them under 2 weeks to go to 200,000. And the places that are being hardest hit right now, Florida, Texas, Arizona. As a matter of fact, Arizona, even compared to other countries, Arizona, Texas, and Florida have more cases just in those states than the next country.
If you're not first, you're last, baby. Let's go, USA!
So that's how far they're in front, that their three largest outbreaks are actually bigger than the next biggest country behind America. That's how huge that number is. And other parts like Louisiana are starting to see outbreaks. So New Orleans just closed down parts of their bars. Miami-Dade has now gotten rid of all indoor seating at their restaurants. They're approaching 4,000 plus deaths. The Ivy League schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, those guys and gals have eliminated sports until the new year. And Australia now is also going back into a lockdown, and is the first time in over 100 years they've actually closed the boundaries between the states of Victoria and New South Wales. The last time they did it was actually the Spanish flu in 1918. So, Ontario, though, fantastic numbers. We are definitely the reverse direction of most of not only America, but in other countries as well. However, we still have 118 new cases, which is a way down from where it's been even a few weeks ago. Just to give you some quick numbers, we had 121 on Saturday, 138 on Sunday, 154 on Monday, 112 yesterday. 112 on Tuesday, and 118 yesterday.
We jumped up.
We jumped up slightly.
Panic, closed down everything.
And our lowest day was back June 26th at 111. So we're still hovering near the low end there. So our 5-day case count will continue to go down there. We tested 23,000 people as well, which is bumped up at over the 20,000. My guess is that number's actually bumped up in testing because the people who went and got tested the first time to go to long-term care homes, you have to get tested every 2 weeks with a negative test to go back to that long-term care home.
Come on, Canada.
So you're going to start to see a spike there again because of that.
We got to bump those numbers up, Canada. Do we want to lose to the States right now? Go cough in your friend's mouth. Come on, we got to bump those numbers up.
Yeah.
Embarrassing behind them.
Yeah, so our positivity rate is 0.51% now, which is actually down from 0.67% just a few days ago. That is trending in the right direction. And in late June, that positivity rate was at 1%, and by the 9th of July, we're already half that. We only have 123 people in hospitals for COVID-19, 35 in the ICU, with 26 on ventilators. And actually, 2 of the larger hospital systems in Toronto actually have 0 cases.
Crazy numbers.
Which is insane. I was looking at Florida last night in Arizona, and their ICUs are already full and overflowing, and they're having to create more ICUs, not just hospital beds, but ICU beds. And they're taking over like community centers and places like that. It's similar to what happened here, where
we had the tents inside the hospital, and now we have the GFL as well as the backup.
Need it, as well. We planned for it. Florida didn't, because they were like, oh, we'll just reopen, everything's fine. Didn't work out. And then actually across the U.S., about 40 states have more cases now than rising each day than they did the day before.
It's just so weird that we listen to health officials.
Yeah.
And we're doing okay.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
When somebody's a scientist and they know what they're talking about, usually I would listen to them. I'm sure you would as well. It's just a crazy concept for Trump on the other side of the camera watching right now. You know?
Hey, you got to keep in mind, the vice president, when he was governor, actually outlawed teaching evolution in school, and you can only learn creationism. So it's not exactly like there's a lot of people that are big on science in the White House right now. And they came out, Pence came out yesterday saying that the CDC gave recommendations he doesn't like, so he wants them to go back and redo their recommendations. This is the Center for Disease Control, with the vice president telling them to redo their recommendations regarding COVID-19 because he didn't like them. He also wants all schools opened in the fall, operating normally. Betsy DeVos, who's the education secretary, came out and said, if you don't fully open, we are not going to give you education funding.
Wow.
So, yeah. Okay, we're going to head it over to Daniel not to Daniel yet.
Okay. Well, okay, Chris, I got a question for you. Let's say Canada or Ontario, more specifically, wanted to open their schools. What's your stance on that right now?
For September?
Yeah. September, as if school, nothing changed, as if the global pandemic is not around.
I would base that entirely on the case count in Canada and the case count in Ontario.
Let's say it's sitting around where it is right now.
I think you could safely reopen, but I would do social distancing. I would stagger classes.
Yeah.
I would stagger the bus routes, which is something they're going to have to consider on how they're going to get kids to and from school, particularly in areas like, here in Northern Ontario.
What I'm thinking, what might have to happen is maybe a bus for each grade and try to keep that grade as secluded from the rest of the school as possible.
And split the class size up.
Yeah,
like if you're going to have a class size of 25, have one class of 12, one class of 13.
Okay, yeah.
Things like that. Stagger it. Maybe go half day, something
recess
like that.
At a certain specific time where only this grade can go out at this time, or if it's lunch in a cafeteria, this time. I think where we are, it's doable, and it shouldn't be too crazy of a thought, but mind you, it's July, things can change.
And the other thing too is, I've been looking at this across the globe and what other countries are doing, and actually in Taiwan, the kids have what looks like a popsicle stick on their head, and basically, they wear a hat. Okay, it's a hat, and then there's a face shield.
Okay.
They can wear their glasses underneath if they need glasses, but it looks like a popsicle stick, in each direction. There's a stick coming out of your head that's 3 feet long.
One way? No way.
So, yeah. Well, I'll get the picture for this afternoon.
So if we spin fast enough wearing one of those, we're going to take off?
It could be a helicopter if you spin fast enough. So I'll get that picture for this afternoon, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So come back at 1 o'clock. We'll share that photo. But yeah, so if the kids know that if they hit another person, they're too close. Which I think is actually much better than trying to put tape on the ground and saying, don't go here, don't go there.
I feel like it's hard to prevent kids from being kids, though. I really think...
But this hat actually kind of prevents them from being kids.
Yeah, I know, but I've said it before, kids are gross. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to fight me on that.
Getting them to sneeze into their elbow and all that stuff.
So good luck, but I feel like kids are still going to, be mischievous and do their thing. That's just the way it is.
And we actually now have Daniel available for another. Hey there, Dan.
Good morning, Chris, and good morning,
Sorry
Alex.
about that early throw over there to you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And what you were just talking about with those on your head, it kind of looks like a weather radar too. When they spin around, like
it does. Yeah.
So, maybe I should get one of those for the show at some point, and we'll see.
You wouldn't be able to turn and look at the screen though, because you'd whack the wall.
Because then I'll probably whack everything. Yeah. So, But okay, well, looking behind me and on your screen, you're going to see a live view of the City Hall today because the camera has moved. And so what you're seeing is we got some construction workers there, and
was there like a lot of wind last night or something?
it was wasn't too bad, but you know, it looks good. They're working on it, so that's our view for right now. But after the break, when I come back, I will have your current outlook on temperatures in the region as well as your 3-day forecast. So stay tuned for more special report. That was good.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health support more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 9th. I'm here with Alex Barr, my co-host. Thank you to KC Securities for being our sponsor. That was a nice look at City Hall there of that completed renovation.
Yeah, I think I saw Christian through a window there, just waving at us.
Nice. It's nice to see that thing was actually done on time and renovated correctly and so on.
I'm sensing some sarcasm. Am I?
Yeah, there's a little sarcasm there since I'm pretty sure that was actually supposed to be renovated before I even moved to the Sioux. Never mind when I actually started working here like 4 or 5 months after that.
Okay.
So yeah, great job on that. Fantastic way to keep things on time. Okay, speaking of keeping things on time, what's up there, Daniel?
Thanks, Chris. Yes, and I thought maybe we had some breaking news this morning that City Hall was completed or something because we were zoomed right in on it. But anyways, we'll wait another 3 years. So anyway, I'm gonna get into your radar shot here. As you can see behind me, we got some remnants of this system here that's gonna kind of may miss us. We may get some later on today. We're not too sure yet the way it's tracking, but there is another low that's coming up from the south. Now that's going to bring cool temperatures over the weekend, and actually I say cool because it's actually going to bring us back down to normal temperatures of what we're actually at right now. So we are going to watch that, and we'll have more at the 1 p.m. as well. So I'll get into your regional temperatures now for Northern Ontario. So currently we're sitting at 19 in Thunder Bay, 20 in Wawa, and both of those are cloudy with showers right now. Sault Ste. Marie, we're sitting at 23. We got a mix of sun and clouds. Timmins, you have a mix of sun and clouds sitting at 19 as well. And Elliott Lake and Sudbury, 23 and 22 degrees respectively, and mainly sunny. Elliott Lake, Timmins, and Sudbury, you are still under a heat warning, and you will be probably for the whole weekend. So keep that in mind when you are out today. So we'll get into today's daily weather. As mentioned, currently 23 degrees. We are going to get up to a high of 33 and a humidex of 40. That is still the forecast for today. So that is still going to be very hot, very sticky. Now, we do have the chance of getting some showers later on in the day. Again, it's about 40% right now and a risk of a thunderstorm, but the UV index is going to be 10 and high, and your winds are only going to be 12 kilometers to the south, so not a very big factor. Overnight, it gets to partly cloudy with a low of 20 and not much relief at this point. Now we'll get into your 3-day forecast. So Friday, 26 degrees once again, and we have that 40% shower risk of a thunderstorm and showers as well on Friday. And we are going to see some winds pick up late in the afternoon, about 20 kilometers, so keep that in mind. We do have a high of, as mentioned, 26 with a humidex of 29, UV index of 7, and we'll have a low of 16 overnight. Saturday, the sun returns, and this is where we kind of cool down a bit, and it's 24 degrees and not too much humidity. So that, as I just mentioned, that's going to bring in some cooler air. Overnight, you're going to get down to 13, so good time to open up the windows in the house if you don't have air conditioning. My air conditioner showed up yesterday, so thankfully that's good timing. But anyways, open it up and cool down the house. And Sunday, 23 degrees and mainly sunny, and then again a low of 13. And then we're going to see, come the work week, the high pressure is going to come in again, and we're going to go right back up and get very hot again. What do you say, Chris? I'm bringing more heat for you.
Good. I'm very happy. We're actually going to finally get some warm temperatures now, so that should be good.
Finally get some warm temperatures? What do you mean, finally?
Well, I mean, it's been a heat wave, but it's not been like hot. It's been just hot. Yeah.
Are you nuts?
No, not really.
It's Alex. He likes that 40-degree humidity.
Yeah, Alex doesn't like this stuff. Alrighty, so we got a bunch of Facebook shout-outs. Good morning to Tammy Lynn, Karen, Jay, Barb, and Ineki. And also, thank you very much to my girlfriend as well. So, good morning to you all. And we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back after this with more special report. See you in a minute.
The Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to Special Report with Chris Oldcorn and Alex Parr, brought to you by KC Securities. Okay, so we were talking about some really big numbers earlier. These are smaller numbers, but they do impact a lot of people. So Via Rail is about to cut about 1,000 jobs. They had to do this already once this year prior to COVID-19 because of the rail lines being blocked about the pipeline. So they're not sure when they'll be able to hire these people back. Their CEO said, unfortunately, as we don't anticipate ridership to be back to pre-COVID-19 levels in the foreseeable future, we had to make the difficult decisions to deal with the situation as we gain a better understanding of the impacts of the pandemic on our operations. And I think this is pretty much across the board for most transportation companies. Like Porter's not even flying here until the earliest would be September the 1st.
Right.
Air Canada's got like one flight a week. Bearskin's only got a couple. So the entire industry of travel right now is there's nothing they can do. I mean, people don't want to go on an airplane. They don't want to go on a train. They're fine driving in their cars.
Yeah, and just to put it into perspective, how many people are laid off, the website says they have around 3,100 employees, a little bit over that. They cut 1,000. Basically 33%.
It's a third of their company is just gone.
That's huge. That is massive. So the families affected, hopefully this ends sooner rather than later so you can get your life back on track.
Yeah, I think a lot of industries after this are going to be restructuring the way they do business. I think they'll have to because of the way people are.
I'm so curious to see how the world's going to run after this.
Yeah.
Will I ever shake somebody's hand again? I don't know. Will I ever give somebody a high five? We'll never know. That might be a thing of the past.
I mean, the last time I saw the mayor in person, we did an elbow bump.
Really?
And that was even before social distancing was even, we were told to do it.
Maybe he just doesn't like you, so he's like,
Nah, well, he was a little under the weather too at the time.
Okay, so he's looking out for us.
Yeah, he was. Okay. Another company, David's Tea. It's here, for those of you who don't know, there's a David's Tea in the Station Mall. And if you like tea, it is like the Starbucks of tea. However, this pandemic has hit them hard. They were already facing lower store sales prior to COVID-19. Most of their stores, they have 220 stores across the US and Canada. Most have been closed for the last 3-4 months. They didn't pay their rent in April, May, or June, and it doesn't look like they're going to be paying the rent in July. So they sought protection in Canada, and then they are also presently in the process of getting protection in America as well. But basically what they're looking to do is, they've actually been selling a lot of tea online.
Okay.
So they're going to kind of transition that business to selling more online and less of in-store. But they're going to go, they have 222 stores, and they're going to go to every single one and try and renegotiate a better lease for them to see if they can try and keep as many stores open as possible. But, they're talking about some of their stores are in very, very high rent areas. I know when I lived in Toronto, David's Tea had stores in like every expensive area, like Yorkdale, Yonge and Eglinton, and Young Bloor. So they're going to have a hard time renegotiating some of those, and who knows what they'll look like. But they want to stay in business. They just are not sure what that's going to look like even 6 months from now. But we got to hit a commercial break, and we'll be right back after the break.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
And welcome back to Special Report for Thursday, July the 9th. And we are now going to see another Weather Watcher picture. This is our third day in a row with Weather Watcher pictures. What do we got going on over there, Daniel?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Actually, we have a Weather Watcher photo sent in by our very own Danny Dupuis, one of our reporters here. Actually, she does everything. She fills in for me too, and does the news reads as well. So she was out, and this is actually, as you can see behind me, if you're familiar, Bellevue Park, Topsail Island. Look at all the ducks back there. That looks like and that's a dog's haven. People like to bring their dogs there and run around the park. Make sure you have them on a leash. But yeah, that's a beautiful photo. Thank you very much, Danny, for sending that in to me, even though you were right beside me, so it was nice and easy.
That's a little, welcome to the modern world where you email your colleague and they're sitting next to you.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll get into the 7-day quickly here. And so Friday, we are going to see a high of 26. We have that 40% chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. Winds are going to pick up Friday afternoon, and then we're going to get down to a low of 16. Saturday and Sunday, 24 and 23 degrees, mainly sunny, and lows of 13 Celsius. This is our normal temperatures returning. And a quick note too, today our record in 2005 was 31.1 Celsius. We may break a heat record today, so keep that in mind. Monday, high of 25, low of 16, mainly sunny. High pressure's coming back Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Look at that, folks. 29, 28, and 30 degrees. And again, going to be hot. 18 degrees as your lows overnight. So again, we're going to have a little bit of a reprieve, and then you're going to get right back into the heat. I'm going to send it back over to the desk.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Looks like we're going to have a lot of sun. A little bit of blip tomorrow, but after that it looks pretty good for the next 6 days after that. So we're having some summer weather now.
Yeah, but if you're missing the cold, John Rose is going to open up one of their ice pads with their Stage 2 reopening coming Monday. The only thing is you or me or Chris, we can't book the ice. You have to be with an organization. You can only be up to 10 people. Your organization has to be either professional hockey or figure skating, but at the same time, you can't host any practices. So,
say that again?
So ice rentals are limited.
I'm a hockey team, but I can rent the ice, but I can't practice on it?
No, and you can only have 10 people. You have to be with an organization to rent the ice. Okay. You can't have more than 10 people, and there are no exhibition scrimmages allowed. A little confused on...
So basically just skating drills.
Yeah, or you could go figure skate practice, I believe, but for hockey, I don't really think anything's going to happen unless you want to work on some drills.
Just skate around with a stick, basically, in a puck.
Yeah, and I know we're a little pressed for time, so you can find the rest of that on SiouxOnline.com. As for the other sports story of the day, no-brainer, Toronto Blue Jays signed their 5th overall draft pick in Austin Martin with their biggest signing bonus in franchise history with just over $7,825.
Yeah. Oh, at least they got him signed.
Hey, I mean, when you're projected to go number 2 and you drop to number 5, can't complain.
Awesome. And we'll be back at 1 p.m. with Doug Ford. News all day long. Have a great morning.